Well, hello everyone and welcome to Saskatoon. Well, good afternoon everyone and thank you so much for joining us today. And I would just say that not only is it a great day for us to be in Saskatoon, but what a great day to be in our great province of Saskatchewan. And in just a few short days, everyone in Saskatchewan is going to have the opportunity to make a choice. A very, very important choice. In fact, what we're seeing is many people in Saskatchewan are already making that choice today and have made that choice throughout the course of the past week. Well over 200,000 people have made that choice. And the reports that we have at our head office are that many Saskatchewan Party supporters have been out and have voted for the Saskatchewan Party and have voted for a brighter future for not only Saskatoon, but for the entirety of the province. And that is in part due to the hard work and the effort of each and every campaign team that has joined us here today and each and every campaign team across the province. And so thank you for your efforts. The choice we each have, and the choice each Saskatchewan person has never been more clear than it is today. You can choose between the NDP and their record and their plan of decline, loss, and closure. Or you can choose a strong economy and a bright future with your party, with the Saskatchewan Party. There are more jobs, there are more people, and there are more opportunities today than there has ever been. In fact, this past year, there's 17,000 additional jobs relative to 1 year ago. That is one new job being created each and every 30 minutes throughout the entire last 365 days. And this week, on October the 28th, we have the opportunity to keep that record going. Or we can go back to what it was like under the NDP, where I would say there was also a new job that was being created for a Saskatchewan person each and every 30 minutes. The problem is that job was being created in Alberta, and our children had to leave and move there to get it. That is why you are seeing a Saskatchewan Party running on our record of job creation, on our record of opportunity, and you're seeing an NDP party running away from their record of decline, loss, and closure. They want you to forget that they closed hospitals and then fired the doctors and nurses that were offering services in our communities. They want you to forget that they closed 176 schools. The NDP closed a school for every month that they had the opportunity and the honor to serve as our government. And then they fired the teachers from those very schools. They want you to forget the very tooth-jarring experience that we had in this province when we attempted to navigate the roads that we called highways, provincial highways. They wanted you to forget that they had a 9% PST. They had the highest income tax rates in the nation, and they had the very threat of property tax revolts year in, year out. But we remember, and Saskatchewan voters remember, and we don't ever want to go back to what it was like under the NDP in this province. If you want your community, if you want our province to continue to grow, if you want our Saskatchewan economy to continue to grow, if you want to have the opportunity for our children and our grandchildren to stay here, well, then you need to choose. And you need to choose the Saskatchewan Party. You need to choose one of the strong team of candidates that the Saskatchewan Party has running for us across this province. And right now, I'm going to take a moment to introduce our slate of candidates in not only Saskatoon, but in the surrounding area. And first, we have from Saskatoon, Churchill Wildwood, Lisa Lambert. We have from Saskatoon University, Sutherland, Jolene McLeod. And all the way from the eastern side of the city, from Saskatoon, Willow Grove, we have Ken Cheveldayoff. Over to the western side, we have David Buckingham. From Saskatoon Stonebridge, we have Bronwyn Eyre. From Riversdale, we have Olu Fakuejo. Dale Loreniuk from Saskatoon Centre. From Eastview, we have Francis Kreiser. From Saskatoon Silver Springs, we have Paul Merriman. And Mumtaz Naseeb from Nutana. And the new and improved candidate from Saskatoon Southeast, we have John Ojari. Sorry, Don Morgan. From Saskatoon Chief Mr. who just took a couple of minutes off of from his door-knocking assignments, we have Parminder Singh. And the strong voice from Saskatoon Meewasin, Maureen Torr. From Kindersley Bigger, we have Kim Gardner. From Humboldt Watrous, we have Raquel Hilbert. Terry Jensen in from Warman. From south of the city, Dakota Arm River, Barrett Croft. From Martinsville, Blairmore, Jamie Martins. From Cut Knife, Turtleford, we have James Thorstenson. Sean Wilson in from Conorapelli. And bringing the west side of the province is Colleen Young from Lloydminster. And Jim Ryder from Rosetown. And from Saskatoon Fairview, the west side, the very west side of the city of Saskatoon, we have Saeed Sandhu. Your Saskatoon and area candidates, ladies and gentlemen. This makes the choice before Saskatchewan people so very clear in this election. There is a significant difference between the two parties that can form government. Almost 3/4 of our commitment to you, the people of this province, almost 3/4 of our commitments are tax reductions or tax credits, which means that you are going to have more money left in your pocket. Contrast that with the NDP's multi-billion-dollar promises that they have made, and they're all about increasing government spending. They want more of your money because they think they know how better to spend it. They think they know how to spend it better than you. That's the choice that's before Saskatchewan voters this week, and that's the choice before Saskatchewan voters on Monday, October the 28th. The Saskatchewan Party wants to leave more money in your pocket for you to spend versus the NDP who want to take more money out of your pocket so that they can spend it. And we all have a choice, and you have a choice between the Saskatchewan Party that has stood against the Trudeau carbon tax since day one versus the NDP who have supported that very same carbon tax since day one and still do today. We have a choice between the Saskatchewan Party who wants to grow our provincial economy or the NDP who just simply want to grow government. We have a choice, you have a choice, between the Saskatchewan Party who wants to give a hand up to those that may be struggling with a life of addictions by providing a recovery opportunity in this province, or the NDP who, by contrast, just want to make drugs more available in our community. It's a choice between the Saskatchewan Party that is hiring more police officers to keep you, your community, and most importantly, your family safe, or the NDP who is committed to cutting those very police officers and buying you a doorbell camera. Between the Saskatchewan Party that has a record of hiring doctors and hiring nurses, or the NDP who have a record of firing doctors and firing nurses. A choice between a Saskatchewan Party that has kept our young people in Saskatchewan and continues to make every effort to ensure that our young people, our children, our future have an opportunity to stay in a Saskatchewan community and to make a career and raise their family in a Saskatchewan community. And you contrast that with the NDP who literally drove our children out of this province. You have a choice between the Saskatchewan Party that is building schools, building hospitals, and building highways from corner to corner to corner to corner in this province, or the NDP who closed those very schools, closed those hospitals, and told Saskatchewan people that they can go out and fix their own highways. It's a choice between a Saskatchewan party that is going to keep our economy strong and our future so very bright, or the NDP who will take Saskatchewan back to a time of decline, loss, and closure. If you want projects to continue, like a Jim Pattison Children's Hospital right here in Saskatoon, an expanded Saskatchewan Polytechnic campus right here in Saskatoon. If you want a new high school, joint use high school on the eastern side of this city to add to the 22 other schools that have been built since we had the honor to form your government in 2007 in Saskatoon alone, which are part of 100 schools across this province that have been built in the last decade and a half by your Saskatchewan government. If you want a new Saskatoon Urgent Care Centre to be completed. If you want this investment, and you want an investment in police officers to keep you and your family and your community safe, if you want to have an opportunity for your children and your grandchildren to stay in this great province, to succeed in Saskatchewan and to raise their family in Saskatchewan, if you want real investment into healthcare and education, if you want safer communities and neighborhoods, if you want more money in your pocket at the end of the month, and if you want a government that will defend and promote Saskatchewan's interests on the national stage as well as on the international stage, if you want a strong economy and you want a brighter future in this province that we know and love, well then this is your party, and these are most certainly your candidates. To all of you that have joined us here today, volunteers and family and friends have put in countless hours over the course of the last weeks and the last months. I say to you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And through you to the folks that are working alongside you on this campaign and will be working alongside you later today and tomorrow and Monday right through till 8 o'clock Monday evening, I want you to thank them on our behalf. Your hard work is really, really paying off. So keep getting voters to the polls, I ask of you. Keep offering to them the choice between the NDP and their plan for decline, loss, and closure, that's their record and that is their plan, or the Saskatchewan Party, which will focus on a strong economy and a brighter future for all of those that live in our province today and for all of those that are going to stay here, our children, our future, and live here tomorrow. And if we do that, continue to get people to the polls and put before them the choice that they have as they go into that election. I know that on October 28th, this Monday, on Election Day, this is going to be a very good day for the Saskatchewan Party. And it is going to be a very good day for the province that we know, we love, and we live in. Our great province of Saskatchewan. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming today, and thank you for all you're doing.
Never thought it'd feel like this. Like when I close my eyes, don't even care if anyone sees me dead.
Early voting numbers look to be well over 200,000. That's going to shatter the record from the last election. Seeing how much early turnout there's been so far in the polls, does that give you confidence heading into Monday, and just what's it like seeing Saskatchewan voting so early instead of on Monday?
Yeah, my answer would be yes, it does. I'm just going to call Ken Cheveldayoff up, though. Ken has been door knocking for multiple elections for about 2 decades. Likely over those 2 decades has knocked more doors than most, if any of us in this room. Just ask Ken, what he's seeing with respect to the turnout, how, our plan is coming together and getting, our supporters out to the polls. And then I'd ask Parminder Singh as well for maybe a comment, as he's running in Chief Mr. and has been on many doors. Him and his team have been on many tens of thousands of doors this election as well. So Ken, here we are.
Thanks very much, Premier. Yeah, it's wonderful. We have a wonderful ground game. We have people from all over coming and making sure that people are getting out to the polls. Last night we had 37% of our vote in. We're hoping for over 50% today. Today is going to be an enormous day. People are excited. They're excited about the future. In Saskatoon, Willow Grove, we have 4 new schools in 1 constituency. We're 10 minutes from the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. People are excited about the innovation of the urgent care center in Saskatoon, and they know that the Saskatchewan Party is going to leave more money in their pockets, and they're not going anywhere near the decline of the NDP. When I was first elected, you know what I had to do? My first job as an MLA, go to Cardinal Leger School because they were going to close it under the NDP because we didn't have enough children here. The school board came in, they moved French immersion there, and they saved that school. It wasn't one of the 176 that the NDP closed, and that's because of Saskatchewan Party MLAs. We're going to work right to the last minute to make sure that every Saskatchewan Party voter gets to the polls and helps make this province a better place in the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier Moe. Thank you, everyone, for coming in over here. As we were talking about the door knocking, we have knocked close to 30,000 doors in Saskatoon, Chief Minister office. And it's a lot of positive on the doors. People are excited. They want a better future for the kids, better future for the economy. And we're going to make sure that on the 28th night, we're going to form the government. And for 4 years, we're going to work for the betterment of Saskatchewan. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So yes, we're feeling pretty good.
Well, Mr. Premier, it's been quite an eventful campaign so far, and it is coming to an end on Monday. With your campaign efforts in mind, with the door knocking and with polling as well, how confident do you feel going into Monday?
Well, listen, I've said a number of times, the goal for this party is to form a majority government so that we can put the plan that we've put before Saskatchewan people into action, a plan to continue to strengthen the growing, vibrant economy that we have, so that we can create that brighter future and that opportunity for everyone that lives here. Whether you be an Indigenous Canadian living in Saskatchewan, whether you be someone like myself, who our family had immigrated here a number of years ago, or whether you be a first-generation Canadian, we want to ensure that you have a brighter future for you and your family. And we also want to ensure that whichever of those groups you might find yourself, that we have an opportunity for your child, your children, our future to choose to stay in Saskatchewan. And we haven't always had that under the NDP. We haven't always had the opportunity for our youth and our children to stay, to have a career and to raise their family in Saskatchewan. We thankfully have that today. And you have a Saskatchewan Party plan to continue to strengthen that economy, build that brighter future so that we can have that opportunity for our children tomorrow. Right on. I would just add to that, how we achieve a majority government, which would be 31 seats, is by trying to win 61.
Ashwarya Duda, CBC News. It's been a pretty rocky campaign. Gary Grewal's conflict of interest, Jeremy Harrison, CBC investigation into that, allegations by Weeks, and all the other deflectors kind of jumping on the bandwagon. On the face of it, it seems Sask Party's kind of playing on defense. Do you think it's kind of kept you away from sending out your message or reiterate your message?
Quite the contrary. This has been a very strong campaign. There's been, various discussions in the media and questions asked, of which we've always tried to provide the clarity. And we feel it's important for us as a party, for myself as a leader, to provide clarity to the people of Saskatchewan so that they know precisely what the Saskatchewan Party will do, and we will do what we say we do. That has always been paramount for our party. The NDP has not been anywhere near as clear when they've been asked questions on various policy initiatives. And so what we have been focused on is less, maybe less of what the media has been focused on and more on what the people on the doorsteps, the people in our constituencies, the voters across Saskatchewan have been telling us, not just during the last 30 days, but during the last 4 years, as we've been out on the doorsteps each and every summer. I've been out in our constituencies each and every summer for those of us that have been MLAs. And certainly this last summer, each and every of the candidates has been out on the doorsteps. You heard Parminder talk of the tens of thousands of doors that him and his team have knocked right here in Saskatoon. Well, that's That's happened in constituency after constituency after constituency, and that's what these candidates have been focused on, is what they are hearing from people on the door, and talking to them about the plan for the brighter future that this party has and how we would be able to enact that should we form that majority government. And that is the value proposition that we're putting before collectively, the people of Saskatoon and the people of Saskatchewan, asking for their support so that we can build a brighter future for everyone that lives here.
Just to follow up there, do you think it's been a lot of reacting to what's going on, the gunshots, all the back and forth in that? Have you had a chance to actually put the platform and the message you want to people, or more of a reactive response to everything that's been done?
Well, we've answered questions each and every day like we are here today, and we've always been clear with the answers that we provide. And I will leave for you and Saskatchewan people to pass judgment on whether the NDP has been clear with all of the questions that they have been asked as well. We have been, to be clear with the Saskatchewan voters through the media. We've also been clear on the doorsteps with the Saskatchewan voters on the value proposition that we are putting forward, and the message that we are bringing on those doorsteps and bringing through the media to Saskatchewan people is this is a party that has a plan. This is a party that has a plan to grow on the already vibrant, strong economy that we have in Saskatchewan so that we can build that brighter future for everyone that's living here and for everyone that will be living here in the years ahead. And we're looking up and we're looking forward as opposed to looking back, which is something that we'll leave for the NDP.
With all the accusations, I'm here. With all the accusations and the negative campaigning, do you see anything positive about this campaign for this election?
Certainly. The plan that I just provided you. We have today a very strong and vibrant growing economy. It's through that economy that we have attracted 250,000 people, not just to move here, but to live here and stay here in the province. That wasn't always the opportunity. I would point back to, in the final years under the NDP government, when you went to Alberta, on the back of the Welcome to Saskatchewan sign, everyone in this room knows what was spray painted on. It was, will the last one that's leaving please turn out the lights? That's the record of the NDP government. Our children leaving this province because, yes, there was a job created, but it was unfortunately created in Alberta or another part of Canada, and our kids had to leave. A generation of kids left this province because there was an NDP government that did not believe in Saskatchewan people, did not believe that we could grow as a province and grow as communities. That has changed. You have seen Ken Cheveldayoff's constituency, half of that didn't even exist a decade ago because people are moving here and they're building houses in the city of Saskatoon. The same with our Fairview constituency in Saskatoon, and the same is true in each community across the province. And that's how, that is ultimately the goal for us, and the value proposition and the ballot question that we are putting in front of Saskatchewan people is we want to continue with that economic growth and that economic opportunity, create those careers, create that opportunity so that kids this age have the opportunity to stay right here in a Saskatchewan community, call it home, and raise their family here.
And is the party concerned about the split of votes, especially with SUP, the Saskatchewan United Party, or the Buffalo Party?
No. No, are you? Listen, there is a point here, and the media should have a look at this. There is a risk here, and we saw it, and I've said many times in Alberta that if you want to split the center-right vote, you can go ahead and do that, but you aren't going to outsmart history. That's how the accidental NDP government was elected in 2015 in Alberta. I would point you to a more recent example in British Columbia today, where in Richmond Stevenson and one of the seats in Vernon, both have an independent running. So they split the vote. They got 2,000 and 4,000 votes, so the independent did respectively. And those two seats are now being held as part of the 46-seat minority potential government in British Columbia. If those votes weren't split in those two seats, as you know, it's 46 NDP, 45 Conservative, 2 Greens. If those two seats were not split, it would be 47 Conservative, 44 NDP, and 2 Greens. And so if anyone thinks they're going to outsmart history when it comes to vote splitting, they didn't do it in Alberta. They didn't do it more recently in BC. They haven't done it in the UK, so I don't think you would know. I don't think we're going to outsmart it anywhere else. Further to that, I would say the divisions that arrive between certain parties, the very foundation and formation of the Saskatchewan Party was the opposite of that. It was 4 Liberals and 4 Conservatives coming together because they found that what they agree on was about 85% of what they were discussing. Sure, we have to have, bite our tongue and have some tough discussions from time to time in our caucuses or as a party because we don't agree on everything, like we don't agree on everything in any community across this province. But we work together. As a governing caucus, we work together as a collection of Saskatchewan Party candidates to come up with what is the best plan forward for the majority of Saskatchewan people. And we always achieve more when we work together, respect one another's differences without being disrespectful to one another. And that is the Saskatchewan Party way, and that's what we bring and would offer to bring to the province of Saskatchewan if they should choose us as their government. This is a party that was formed on unity and bringing people together. And it's time for us, not only in Saskatchewan, to come together, but across this nation.
One more question, and you kind of just walked into it. I was going to ask you about what happened in BC, what we saw in New Brunswick this week. What kind of election night are you expecting? Seeing how tight it was in BC, how people voted in New Brunswick, it seems something is happening in Canada where elections are harder to predict. How do you feel about Monday night, and what kind of night are you expecting?
Yeah, I would say incumbent governments have had it tough, and that's likely, the case. We're having, a challenging election, I would say, here in Saskatchewan. That being said, we have 61 of the finest candidates that I certainly have met. No offense, Don Morgan. But we have 61 dynamic candidates, not only running in Saskatoon, but running across this province. I talked to Jim LeMeg in the north, and he's putting it all out there in the constituency of Athabasca and putting forward his value proposition to be a representative for the people that live in the northwestern part of our province. But most certainly, as I said earlier, what we are focused on is forming a majority government so that we can put forward the plan that we're putting forward before the people of Saskatchewan, that plan for a strong, growing, vibrant economy so that we can create that brighter future for everyone that lives here and everyone that we know will have the opportunity to live here. That's our plan, that's our value proposition. We will aim and target to win that incumbent government by trying to win each and every one of the 61 seats that we have in the province of Saskatchewan. With respect to, and I just call on, and maybe I'm going to call a couple of candidates here, but Jolene McLeod has been on doors as well, just to speak a little bit to what she's hearing as we head into, the final advanced polling day today. And we're going to get off of this stage right away and go out and do the work that we do as political parties. But what she's hearing with respect to the last advanced polling day today, as well as leading into Election Day on Monday night.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Premier? Oh, we're going to get back in. I believe it. What I'm hearing at the door, there's trust for this party. There's optimism about this party, and there's confidence in this party. Any noise that you're hearing otherwise, come knock doors with me. City of Saskatoon, Saskatoon University Sutherland, powerhouse constituency with 2 hospitals, a university, and soon to be Sask Polytech, as well as families and a diverse and community-minded group. Sask Party.
And John O'Rourke, he's also door knocked many doors, interacted with people for the last number of months.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's been nice and great at the doors, and we've been hearing people, talking about having a lot of trust in the Sask Party. We hear people saying there are issues of concern, but they trust Sask Party to be able to do, to solve some of these, to be able to, solve some of these issues. We're also hearing that, people don't want NDP to have an inroad in Saskatoon. People are passionate. They are like, make sure this is done, because they know what NDP did when they were in power. Just like the Premier has said, closure and loss of jobs and all of that. They trust Sask Party, and it's so exciting to see people wanting to engage. Even a lot of time when we engage with people, on the other side, from the NDP, you can virtually see that most of the points that we raise most of the questions that they ask, they don't even have answers for it. And we try to, as much as possible to, talk about what Sask Party has been doing in terms of a strong economy and a bright future. And the message seems to be sinking into the mind of people, and I will believe that on 28th, on Monday, there's going to be a majority Sask Party government. Thank you.
There is a lot to be said for, short statements and lingo. Everyone's heard, well, not everyone, but some people have heard what I suppose is a ballot question for the NDP, which is, it's a time for change. And I'd say it's change for what? A change for a time when we're back to closing schools and having our children go to Alberta to find a job. A change for a party that in their platform didn't even mention the potash industry, didn't mention the forest industry, the mining industry altogether, didn't mention post-secondary education, and the voters in Saskatoon University and Regina University and in Prince Albert should know that there's a party with a platform in this election that is vying to form government that didn't even mention post-secondary education and the opportunity to train our children to stay in the Saskatchewan community. Versus the Choice, which is a party that not only introduced the graduate retention program to keep our kids in the Saskatchewan community, but is committed to, if we have the honor of forming government, and increasing it by 20%. To ensure that not only the 85,000 kids that have stayed here, are kids that have stayed here in this province, we're going to be able to add to that in years into the future. And that's how you set out a growth agenda in this province, not by using lingo like, oh, it's time for change, and then have no one ask you for change to what? Decline, loss, and closure is what? Decline, loss, and closure.
That's the end of our media availability.
No,
thank you, everyone.